To me, paying cash for my car was the best decision I could have made for my financial future. It's freed up so much money for me. It's allowed me to be able to stack more money for my emergency fund at a faster rate. I'm not scrambling like I used to pay bills. I'm able to get ahead on all my finances. Plus, I own my car. Having a car that you own that no one can take from you, it's a beautiful thing, in my opinion. You know, it's one of those situations that you may think of like, okay, what if I lost my job? You know, how am I gonna pay my car now? You know, that's not a worry for me right now. You know, all I have to do is focus on making sure my rent's paid, water, lights, food. I can focus on those core items. So for that, I'm blessed. So I was doing some research because I was curious to know what the average cost for a new car and used car was in 2024. And I was shocked by the numbers. For the average new car, it costs $734 a month. For the average used car, people are paying $525 a month. And these aren't expensive luxury cars. These are $35,000 to $45,000 cars. And for used cars, they're from $20,000 to $35,000. These are your soccer mom SUVs, your Honda Civic, some trucks are sprinkled in there, but these aren't Lexuses and BMWs and Mercedes. These are just the typical car that you see on the road day to day. These are the cars you see at Target, Walmart, usually see parked in front of houses. That's what the average American are paying a month. That's what they're driving also. The average insurance, you know, full coverage is $205 a month. So imagine having a brand new car at $734 a month. And let's say your insurance is $200 a month. That's $925 a month just to drive your car. We haven't even counted gas money. I spend about $300 a month. I don't think I drive that, but maybe I do. So let's say you spend $300 a month on just fuel. That's $1,200 already. $1,200 a month that you have to pay just to drive your car. We haven't even included maintenance, the occasional, you know, parking tickets or traffic tickets, or the registration, the oil changes. We haven't even threw those numbers in. Guys, there's a term called car poor. And what that means is when the cost or when the expense of owning a vehicle pretty much prohibits you from being able to have discretionary income. You're not able to pay your bills. You may be late on bill payments, such as credit cards, phone bills, light bills, other loans. Spending too much money on your car, that means you're car poor. And when you're car poor, it's going to be very challenging to build any type of wealth. It's going to be very challenging to find yourself out of debt. It pretty much won't happen, especially when you consider how long you're locked into that loan. I'm hearing rumors of 6-7 month auto loans.
Guys, I know I said 6 or 7 months. I actually meant 6 or 7 years. But you know what? Let's go to NerdWallet. It says, are 84-month and longer auto loans a good or bad idea? Guys, 96 months is 8 years. 84 months is 7 years. So I was off a year. All right, it says here, all right, you're car shopping and find just what you're looking for. It's perfect. Well, except for the price tag. After crunching the financing numbers, your enthusiasm turns to disappointment when you realize the monthly payment is more than you can afford. But there could be a solution. Extending the loan term to 84 or maybe 72 or 96 months. $96 months for an auto loan. Let's carry on with the video.
That's ridiculous. I guess anything to lower that payment, people will go for it. Guys, I've learned that it's not about how much you make, it's how much you can keep. If you're making 6 figures, but you're spending majority of it on expenses, what's the point of having 6 figures? You just got a bunch of stuff and doing a bunch of stuff, but you have nothing to really show for it when it's all said and done. These are things that I'm thinking about as I'm driving my car. Guys, I am not in nothing fancy. I'm in a Honda CR-V. over 200,000 miles on it. I take good care of it. It gets me to A to B. It serves its purpose. It allows me to get to work. It allows me to get to and from different places where I shoot photography. It allows me to get my side hustle on. So far, it's kept me safe. Haven't had any issues. I keep the oil change. It's good on fuel. And most importantly, it's mine. It can't be taken from me. That's what I value. I value ownership. What's the point of sitting around making payments if you can never really own it? You know, and a lot of us, especially when it comes to cars, once the newness wears off, you're already looking at something new. You know, you never really get ahead of it. I've learned to be content. I've learned to be happy with what I have. Try to look at it from a responsible perspective. Would I rather have 10,000 in the bank and a car paid off, or would I rather owe 10,000 and have no money in the bank? You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you might have a nice car you're making payments on, but you don't have anything behind that. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of times when you see the people you see, they're not seeing what you're driving. They might see you when you pull up here and there, but that goes out the window after that. It's just like, all right, well, what else you got going on? You know, one of the things that I find funny is usually people that are trying to show this larger than life lifestyle, that they're really doing it big, that they've really arrived. The moment an emergency comes up, they're reaching for a credit card. They don't have the cash. And me personally, I feel like the biggest flex is when an emergency pops up and you're able to take care of it. And you don't have to reach for a credit card, because most Americans have to. I mean, what's the study? 60% of Americans are living check to check. Many don't have $1,000 for an emergency. I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe most emergencies are gonna cost you more than $1,000. I don't think $1,000 emergency savings is enough, which is what I don't do. And I've learned that the hard way. When I've had vehicle trouble and when I had flooding at my home where it cost me $3,800 to cover that emergency. So I've learned the hard way. So I'm more of an advocate of really saving your emergency savings. You know, try to save 3 to 4 months before you really, attack your debt, if possible. That's my approach. Everything else Dave Ramsey promotes, I'm all for it. I just know my risk tolerance isn't like that. But again, when you have a car loan, let's say you bought a $40,000 car. By the time you pay off that car after 5 years, that car is only worth $16,000. That's if you took good care of it. When it got the oil changes when it was scheduled to, didn't get into any wrecks, wasn't doing too much overdriving, not a lot of wear and tear, didn't tear up any seats, things like that. You may get $16,000 for your car. That's a 60% loss. If it was a business, it would be a terrible investment. But yet they've convinced us that having a nice luxury car means something. To me, it means nothing. I'd rather have that money in a bank. I'd rather live debt free. I'd rather ride in the hoopty, have money in my pocket, being able to do the things I enjoy, than to sit around stressing because I'm driving something that I really can't afford. And it's been more of a burden for me. I wouldn't change it for the world. Guys, I wouldn't change having this Honda CR-V to driving a Mercedes for anything in the world if I couldn't pay cash for that Mercedes. Nope. If I couldn't pay cash for that Mercedes, I would rather have my Honda CR-V that's fully paid for and I don't owe anybody anything. That's just me. Because I'm looking at the opportunity cost. When you tell me that the average American is paying $525 a month on a used car, I'm thinking that's over $6,000 a month. That's a lot. I haven't done all the numbers, I'm just going 500. That's $6,000 a month. So it's probably $8,000 a month, really, that's going toward a car.
Again, I'm getting the months confused with years. I meant years. Now let's get back to the video.
That could have gone toward their retirement. See, that's an opportunity cost. You're forfeiting your retirement to driving a nice car. Now, I'm not here preaching or anything like that. These are just things that I'm thinking about, and I'm just expressing it because, we're just having this money talk. But it's not good. It's not good to get into these car loans. I speak highly against it. Would it be nice to have something nice? Yes, if you can pay cash for it. You don't have any payments on it. That's a beautiful thing. That's ideal. But most people aren't in the financial situation where they could do that. They got us with these car notes, guys. They got us with these car notes. So I just wanted to point that out. Cars are keeping us poor. They're keeping us poor. And the best thing you could do, not fall for the peer pressure, not worry about your image or your perception. Focus on the goal. Focus on the dream. Being debt free, having emergency savings, having some money toward retirement, and being able to live the life that you want to live. If you're still young, if you're in your 30s or 40s, you've got some time left to really grab the bull by its horns and really change the trajectory of your life. And that's what I'm about. I'm about really making some change. I made some mistakes. I've learned from it, but I can't sit around and beat myself up about it. These are decisions that I made, but I'm wise enough to know that I made these poor decisions, and I'm wise enough to fix it. And that I'm proud of. It's those of us that are in denial about it, continue to do what we've been doing and live a life of mediocrity and regret it later in life. And that's something I refuse to do. I do not want to live with any regrets, even if it takes me 5 years to get out of debt. I know once I'm out of debt, I won't go back into it. And I know that is lighting the load off of me later in life. So these are just small sacrifices. This is the small sacrifice for a bigger life that's ahead of me. That's the way I look at it. And that's the only way I can look at it. That's what's going to keep me locked in, keep me focused, keep me disciplined. Discipline is key. Discipline is key. But just thinking about those numbers, $735 a month for a new car, while the average American don't have $1,000 for an emergency. I mean, it's crazy to me, but I believe it. You know, I understand it. I was once in that predicament. I'm not in that predicament anymore, but I was once in that predicament. And I want to go back to that car poor term that I was talking about earlier. What car poor means is when you're spending a large percentage of your income, your total monthly income, for car ownership. That means on the auto loan itself, the car insurance, the fuel, the registration, the maintenance, etc. That takes up a large percentage of your income each month. You're car poor. See, people that are car poor, they'll fall short on discretionary spending or emergencies. They have trouble, you know, with their financial obligations, whether it's paying off college loans, credit card payments, or money toward their future goals. That's how car poor people are living today. And many of us are car poor. So I just want to leave you with this. If you have an opportunity or an option to get out of your car loan and consider buying a cash car or buying a car that you could, you know, the payments are extremely low where you'll be able to pay it off really quick. I'm talking maybe a couple of months. I would consider going that direction. Now, I'm not giving you any financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm speaking on how I'm thinking, what I think is better for me in my situation and what I value. I'm only here to speak on what I'm going through, and I'm hoping that I could resonate with you. I know everyone's story is different, but I think we all have some similarities. We all have some similar situations here or there, you know? So I'm just sharing my story, my experience, what I'm thinking at the moment. Being car poor isn't one of them. So like I said, let's take a moment, and I want to, all right, for the sake of doing numbers before I get out of here, let's just do an example of how much it could cost you, an opportunity cost. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use some of the numbers that I have. So today, to get my car inspected, I had to pay $25 for the inspection. Found out that I needed to get 2 tires, right? Or I would fail the inspection. I get to Discount Tire, find out that I need 3 tires. The tires end up costing me $415. And get back, get the inspection, and I pay for the registration. I'm already up to almost $500. Oh, I'm over $500. I'm $525 in right now. So that's just something to consider. So let me get to these numbers. So $600 for auto loan, $200 for auto insurance, $300 for fuel, $400 for tires, $25 for the inspection, and about $80 for the registration. Right there alone, you've already spent over $1,600. That's just for December. You've already spent over $1,600 to drive your car, to own your car. What could you do with that $1,600 right now if you had that liquid? You didn't have a car tied into it. What would you do with that $1,600? I could think of so many different things. I could put it in savings. I could throw it towards debt. I could use it to pay off a bill, you know, get ahead of a bill, such as car insurance. I would, pay it 6 months in advance. All right, guys, so I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm just sharing my thoughts on the opportunity cost that cars can cost us. Share in the comments. Let me know. Do you have a car note? How much is your car costing you now? Is it costing you opportunity? Is it an asset or is it more of a liability? Is it a pain in the butt to afford, or is it a luxury to have? I wanna know in the comments. If you guys take value in this content, please click the subscribe button, click the like button, and share the video with someone who may find this information useful or share the same thoughts. I'm trying to build a community here of like-minded individuals or people that may not even thought about it, or it might have been on the back of their mind, but they weren't quite sure if they were thinking the right way. I want to let them know that they're not alone in their thought process, that this is going to be a lonely walk. It's going to be a tough walk, but they're not alone. You got Penny Pincher with K-Mac here, documenting his journey, obstacle after obstacle, win after win, loss after loss. We're being transparent. You get to see the cash stuffings, the budgeting. You get the vlogs to show how I'm spending the money, what I'm doing with the money, practices that I'm practicing to keep myself focused on the goal. If you find value in this, go ahead and click that subscribe button and share the content. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Penny Pincher out. Peace.